Hey, what's going on there? Everyone on YouTube, welcome to another great edition of the Main Event Talk. It's happening right here, as it happens live right here. And it's not often I get an opportunity to go ahead and do something on a Saturday morning. But, I kept thinking to myself, okay, I feel like doing a Main Event Talk. I want to try and put something together as much as I can. And I figured, you know what? It's Saturday. Normally, let me kind of tell you what my normal routine is on a Saturday. If this was a work day, I probably would be working right now as we speak. Now, if it's an off day, then what I do is, and this is kind of the truth, I go ahead and I set up something, right? I go ahead and I usually have someone over. Uh, well, very long story short, yes, it's a female. It's, you know, let's just say things go good. We watch movies. We sometimes conversate, and we also, we watch. Well, we haven't done it yet, but I just got my W network set up and everything. Me and her like to watch from time to time, and then other things come up that I don't feel like mentioning on this Main Event Talk. Let's just say I become a very happy man when all this is over. You probably know what it is, but ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Main Event Talk. I am your host, the main event himself, the God among gods, the king among kings, a motherfucking bitch, walking God's green earth. So let me give you an idea of what I'm doing. Today, like I said, I was supposed to have a friend over, but due to the weather conditions that are happening in Corpus Christi right now, it's very, very bad, so I can't really do anything. So I figured I'd go ahead and just decide, you know what, I got time. I'll go ahead and pull together a Main Event Talk, just to make it going and, see how interesting this goes. This is Saturday talk. Saturday morning talk, if you will. So, right now, actually, it's probably 11:30 or something like that. So technically, it's not really the morning time. We're in the afternoon. So, there's a couple things I'm going to do. Obviously, we're going to talk about what's going to happen at the WWE live event that's going to take place over in Corpus Christi, which I'm hoping I would get a chance to go if my friend comes through with his promise to get me my tickets. Very long story on that. And also, tonight is the fight. Not Manny Pacquiao. Triple G versus Canelo. That's going to happen tonight live as it happens on pay-per-view. And no, it will not be on the WWE Network, just to let everybody know. But I can't wait. I mean, the fight's going to be tremendous. I'm going to be checking it out over at Theo's. I'll get more details on that as soon as I can. But let me start off with some breaking news, especially, since we're in the subject of boxing. I went on my Instagram, I went on my Twitter, I went on several social media networks. You guys know the story, you heard about it. Everybody knows that Floyd Money Mayweather's last fight was with Conor, and that was it. He was done. It was over. We didn't have to deal with it. That was a year ago. Now, all of a sudden, we may get one more fight. But not against McGregor. It's going to be from another old friend or another old fighter that he's fought off against before, Manny Pacquiao. I'm not kidding. This news broke out on ESPN all over the place. And I was looking at it, and I think I know what happened. I think I know what started the whole thing. Was because this morning when I woke up, I went ahead and did some stuff, handled some business at home. I have to have me a drink. I can't help myself. But anyways, the news broke out because I think there was some dispute that happened. I was looking at Mayweather's Instagram, and it showed him at a live club, and I think there were several news reporters or something like that. And then across from there was Manny Pacquiao. Now, I didn't hear the entire video and everything else like that, but it looks like, from the looks of it, and I said this, it looked like Money may want to go after Manny Pacquiao one more time. And sure enough, the news broke out over on ESPN. No doubt it's breaking on every social media network out there, every news outlet that's probably watching this as we speak. So, and somewhere my brother's probably tickled pig half to death the fact that this is going to happen one more time. So, Manny Pacquiao versus Floyd Money Mayweather one more time. I wouldn't mind seeing it personally, because I'm a fan of both Mayweather and Manny Pacquiao. I'm not like, well, I'm a fan of boxing. I love the sport. I respect it a whole lot. I'm more of a fan of a wrestling fan than I am anything else. But Manny Pacquiao versus Floyd Money Mayweather, I would definitely want to buy it. But I know some people will probably tell me, "Oh, come on, you don't want to pay $100 for a pay-per-view." And pretty much from what I understand, speaking of the boxing, Triple G against Canelo, I heard that the boxing pay-per-view was somewhere around maybe $80, $90, I think. Oh my God, that's absolutely ridiculous. That's just absolutely insane. But people will go through many links to get their hands on the boxing and everything else like that. So it's just totally insane about what's happening. So that's the breaking news right here, but that's just part of what I need to talk about. Today, on the Main Event Talk, WWE Live is coming here to Corpus Christi, Texas. It's taking place. All of the superstars will be here, and no doubt, most of them are probably here in Corpus Christi somewhere. Some doing some autograph sessions, probably some doing radio, appearing on radio stations, probably from C101 to KSAB to other radio stations that probably have the WWE network. Probably have the WWE superstars there as we speak. So, what superstars? The Raw superstars, from Seth Rollins, Dean Ambrose, Roman Reigns, Braun Strowman, Dolph Ziggler, Drew McIntyre, Alexa Bliss, Ronda Rousey, Bobby Lashley, no doubt, Sasha Banks, a few others in that particular nature. It's going to be very, very interesting. I mean, from what I understand now, due to the weather conditions, I know that they're having to change routes right now because it's real flooded over there, right close by the American Bank Center. So, to all of the Main Event viewers that watch this, and especially most of my viewers in Corpus Christi, Texas, if you get a chance to check out, if you're heading over to the WWE, if you're heading over to the American Bank Center, if you're heading over to go check out WWE, some of you could probably are there early right now. Please be careful out there because, man, the flash flood warnings are real bad. I know my phone went off completely when that came on. So, just a suggestion, please be careful out there when you see it. And it's going to be a tremendous event. Cannot wait. And of course, we know WWE Hell in a Cell is coming this Sunday live as it happens in the WWE Network and also live on pay-per-view. Just to let everybody know, it's going to take place over at the AT&T Center over in San Antonio, Texas. All of my good friends over in San Antonio, Texas, if you're there, check it out, watch it. It's all of your favorite WWE superstars from Raw and SmackDown in the Main Event. Cannot wait to check it out live as it happens on the WWE Network. So, let me go ahead and bring that subject up while that's going on. Everybody knows about what's going to happen at WWE Hell in a Cell. The Universal Championship will be decided. The WWE Championship will be decided. The Raw Tag Team titles will be decided. A lot of things are going to be decided as well. So let's see. Let's talk about Charlotte Flair versus Becky Lynch for the WWE SmackDown Women's Championship. And let me tell you something. I know a lot of people have asked me about what I think about Becky Lynch turning into a heel. First of all, thank you very much for that happening. Because as far as I'm concerned, everyone kept asking the question, who was going to turn heel at SummerSlam? And the first person I picked was Becky Lynch because if you think about it, if you remember the matchup with Carmella versus Charlotte versus Becky Lynch, the only person that hasn't really turned heel at all has been Becky Lynch. So obviously, snap your fingers like that. It's like, she's going to turn heel instantly. And obviously, I made this prediction weeks ago, months ago, I think, when I said, if Charlotte Flair wins the title and Becky Lynch is in the ring with her and she's feeling all down and everything, giving a hug to her and everything else like that, she needs to turn on her right there, right in the middle of the ring. And sure enough, that's exactly what happened. She went ahead, turned on Charlotte right there. And ever since then, Becky Lynch is trying to be a heel, but she's doing a good job. She's doing a very good job of it. But I don't know. I think the fans are, how, most of the time when a babyface turns heel, the fans are supposed to boo the heel, right? That's how it's supposed to go. But not in this modern era. I mean, now most of the time the fans just cheer the person that they're supposed to boo. They're supposed to boo Becky Lynch, and that don't happen. And they're booing Charlotte more than they're booing Becky Lynch. And here's the thing that's so funny, and I find this to be an insult. Charlotte is not a female version of Roman Reigns. No. The only reason why she's put in that position is because of the Flair name And also, I mean, you know, I guess if you're going to put her in that position, that's fine, but I don't really see her that way. I really don't see her that way. So, as far as my prediction for Becky Lynch versus Charlotte for the WWE SmackDown Women's Championship, I'm actually gonna go with Becky Lynch. I hope she does win the title, and I hope we see a long feud between these two and escalate over into WWE Evolution, which I'll talk about that in the next episode of the Main Event Talk, because I've been wanting to talk about the Women's Evolution pay-per-view, because that's something I definitely will talk about in the next episode of the Main Event Talk. Be ready for that. Now, let's talk about the Raw Women's Championship. As you know, Alexa Bliss and Ronda Rousey both are here in Corpus Christi as we speak, and no doubt I believe there's going to be some sort of an autograph signing that's going to happen with Ronda Rousey over at the American Bank Center. So I don't know when that's going to take place. I kept reading a bunch of posts about Ronda Rousey at the American Bank Center. I believe the autograph signing will probably take place before the doors open. So, like I said before, if you guys are going to go out there and go check it out, be there. But please be careful out there on the roads. There's a flash flood warning in effect, so be careful with that. Now, as I was talking about, Ronda Rousey versus Alexa Bliss for the Raw Women's Championship, and I knew right away that Ronda was going to be the champion just like that. Now, I had predicted one of two things. Either they're going to let Ronda Rousey win the title, or they're going to do something with her that will probably involve Stephanie McMahon. So none of that happened at all. So Ronda Rousey won the title, made Alexa Bliss look like a little bitch. I'm sorry, I'm going to call it like I see it. And also, this is the thing. I know that some people are going to say, oh, well, Ronda Rousey is terrible. Ronda Rousey is not even a good wrestler. Ronda Rousey is just the worst women's champion in the history of this business. Ronda Rousey is Ronda Rousey. What the fuck is wrong with you guys? Seriously. You need to remember something. Ronda Rousey is like Ken Shamrock. When Ken Shamrock came into the WWE years ago, yes, he was from the Ultimate Fighting world. And yeah, he was, just a mixed martial artist, but he fit into the pro wrestling category. It works out perfectly. Ken Shamrock adapted. Ronda Rousey is going to adapt in WWE, and she's going to adapt pretty quickly, and she's going to become not only a big sensation, it's also going to work out in her favor. Now, and I've said this, and I know a lot of people will probably agree on this. Say if the fans decide to boo Ronda Rousey, and say Ronda Rousey is put in a position where the fans hate her and don't want to be around her and everything. If she turns heel, I recommend her to turn heel with Paul Heyman. That would be something, because number one, Paul Heyman has managed a former UFC champion, Brock Lesnar. Number two, if the time is right for Ronda to turn heel, Paul Heyman would be the guy to manage her, and she would be a machine, and nobody will be able to take down that combination. Ronda Rousey and Paul Heyman together. That would be something special. But I'm thinking ahead of myself. But as far as the matchup against Ronda Rousey against Alexa Bliss, I'm hoping the matchup doesn't take too long. It's going to probably be maybe match. I don't know how it'll go, but I'm looking to see Ronda Rousey obviously hold on to the title. She's going to beat Alexa Bliss, obviously, and obviously that feud may escalate into WWE Evolution next month, which, like I said, I'm going to talk about that in the next episode of the Main Event Talk, because I've got a lot I want to talk about in that particular nature. Now, let's talk about another match. One that I'm going to have the most interest in. Daniel Bryan and Brie Bella against the supposed A-team of the supposed A-listers, anyway, of Maurice and The Miz. Well, interesting. Now, anybody that is a fan of the Main Event Talk knows straight up, I don't like The Miz. I hate him. He sucks. I wish he would go away. I wish he would retire already and enjoy the success that he has. And I really don't want to see him become WWE Champion for any reason whatsoever. It wouldn't make sense. Here's the thing. The Miz has talked a lot of shit about Daniel Bryan for the longest time, and Daniel Bryan comes out of retirement, faces him off at SummerSlam, and I knew one of two things are going to happen. Either Daniel Bryan's going to kick the living shit out of him and put The Miz on his fucking place, or something will happen, like an interference from, say, his wife, and then Daniel Bryan will end up getting pissed off, and The Miz will win, and we will all be pissed off about it. And sure enough, that's exactly what happened. And you know, Daniel Bryan, I mean, this whole thing with The Miz, like I said, I just want this to come to an end. There's some people, this is the truth, there's some people that actually want to see Daniel Bryan and The Miz compete at WrestleMania for the WWE Championship, which, number one, I'm not going to put that on The Miz. No way. I want my champion to be like an AJ Styles, maybe a Samoa Joe, maybe even a Daniel Bryan. We don't want that championship anywhere near The Miz. We put that title around The Miz's waist, and I swear to God, he will make Jinder Mahal look like a better champion than him. That is the fucking truth, whether anybody likes it or not. So, as far as my prediction goes, you know how this shit goes. The Miz is gonna fucking get his ass kicked by Daniel Bryan and Brie Bella. And I want Brie Bella to just slap the taste out of The Miz's mouth, because that way he'll look like a little bitch being slapped around by a little, you know, I mean, but the bottom line is, Daniel Bryan and Brie Bella are going to beat the living shit out of Maryse and The Miz, and whether we like it or not, it's going to be awesome! Let's move on from that to something even more awesome. We talked about it just a moment ago. The WWE Championship matchup between AJ Styles and Samoa Joe. Oh man, I love how this fucking feud is going. Especially the way Joe is putting this whole thing together. Especially at SummerSlam, I made the prediction where I said, I don't care if Joe wins the title. I don't care if AJ Styles wins the title. As long as we get a good match, and as long as we see two people fighting against each other, and if there's some sort of something that will be worth watching, then that SummerSlam right there, boom. It'll be hands down the best match ever. Sure enough, both men got double counted out, and Samoa Joe took a microphone on his hands, right? He took a microphone and said something about Daddy is asleep, or Daddy went night-night, I'll be your daddy. AJ Styles got pissed, got up, and beat the shit. And that was just Samoa Joe classic. I dig it. Almost reminds me of like the old TNA back in the day. Remember that whole thing with Joe when he won the X Division title, and I think he disgraced the code of the X Division. Remember that? This was a little bit similar, but it's more personal and it's getting right to it. This match between AJ Styles versus Samoa Joe for the WWE Championship is going to be a classic. It's going to be great. I think Joe will win this match, and I'm calling it like I see it. I think Joe will win this match, but he will not win the WWE Championship. As far as I'm concerned, I think this match needs to escalate to something further. It needs to go maybe in Survivor Series or maybe TLC, something. Either way, I want this feud between Joe and AJ Styles to continue. This is only the beginning. I can't wait to see it. My prediction is quite simple. Like I said before, I love Joe. I love AJ Styles. I think Joe will win it, but he'll win it either by disqualification or by countout. I think that's what's going to happen. I don't see him winning the title just yet. But if they do push Joe in that position and put him in the WWE Championship, you know, put it around his waist, I'll dig it. I'll love it. I don't care. I mean, like I said before, like SummerSlam. I don't care if AJ Styles wins the title. I don't care if Joe wins the title, as long as we get something good. San Antonio, Texas is going to love the shit out of this matchup between AJ Styles and Samoa Joe. Now, let's go on to another. Obviously, I'm going to leave the Universal Championship matchup alone when we get there. Let's talk about another matchup on SmackDown involving Hell in a Cell. That's going to take place. It's going to be Jeff Hardy versus Randy Orton, and now they're put inside Hell in a Cell, which, thank God, and I already know right away what's about to happen. For years, these two have faced off against each other in feuds, in championship matches, and now they're facing off against each other inside Satan's structure, Hell in a Cell. Now, I could be wrong. I know Randy Orton has been a part of several Hell in a Cell matches in his career, but Jeff Hardy, I mean, this is actually a year for Jeff Hardy to actually be a part of some firsts. I mean, AJ Styles, Jeff Hardy has never been the United States champion. He won it this year. And then, of course, we know he lost to Shinsuke Nakamura. And now, Jeff Hardy is being placed inside Hell in a Cell against Randy Orton. And I know straight up, and we all see this coming. You know Jeff Hardy is going to be the Daredevil, and you know Jeff Hardy is going to do exactly what we all expect him to do. Remember that whole thing that happened with Shane McMahon 1 year ago when he took on Kevin Owens? He was at the top of the cell. He dropped down he actually dropped down on the table and not on Kevin Owens because of Sami Zayn. Long story on that. Remember that? Now we get a chance to see Jeff Hardy do the same thing. So it's not going to surprise me or anyone else to see Jeff Hardy go on top of the Hell in a Cell structure and drop down upon Randy Orton and lay him flat out to rest. To me, this one's going to be tough. I want Randy Orton to win, but I actually want Jeff Hardy to win this matchup. If Randy Orton wins, let me get my prediction on this. If Randy Orton wins, the feud between Jeff Hardy and Randy Orton probably needs to escalate further till, I'm going to say, Survivor Series. But if Jeff Hardy wins, then they have to end the feud right there between Randy Orton and Jeff Hardy. So I think that's going to be my prediction right there. Which one do I pick? I'll go with Jeff Hardy. I'll go with Jeff Hardy winning it. The feud between Randy Orton and Jeff Hardy comes to an end at Hell in a Cell, and then that's it. That's my thought of it right there. Now let's see. We got the Women's Championship matchup, the Raw Women's Championship matchup. The tag team titles. Let's talk about the tag team titles. We got 2 tag team titles, and the first one is the obvious one. The one with, let's see, I believe it's The New Day versus Rusev and Aiden English, or Rusev Day, if you will. And I'm gonna go on record saying this: as much as I love the New Day, I think we need to see that one come to an end. I think all of us have been wondering if we'll ever see the end of this whole thing involving, the New Day and them losing the tag team titles against Rusev and Aiden English. And I especially want Rusev to win it so badly because, to me, I'm liking Rusev. Well, I've liked Rusev for a while, and the fans are really starting to get over with him, especially this whole thing with Rusev Day coming, as a trend. So I'd love to see Rusev and Aiden English become tag team champions at Hell in a Cell. With all due respect to the New Day, I love them. They're great. I love them as tag team champions, but I think all of us can agree, it's time for the titles to be around someone else's waist. It should be around the waist of Rusev Day and Aiden English, and the main event. Cannot wait for that. It's going to be tremendous. That's going to be the kickoff show, by the way, which that also was not a big surprise either. The tag team titles of Raw: Dolph Ziggler and Drew McIntyre up against Dean Ambrose and Seth Rollins. And I got to tell you, I would definitely, and I'm saying this because I definitely want to see the Shield win all the tag team titles. I know that Seth Rollins is the Intercontinental Champion, and I know that he'll have a dual championship and everything else like that, but it don't matter. I want to see, as much as, this is going to be a good tag team fight as far as I'm concerned. You got Dolph Ziggler and Drew McIntyre, who are tag team champions, who have put away the B team. Thank you very much, by the way. And now they have an opportunity to defend the tag team titles against 2 former tag team champions in Dean Ambrose and Seth Rollins of the Shield. And I hope that happens. I hope Dean Ambrose and I hope Seth Rollins win the tag team titles. That way the Shield will be able to gain control and gain all the power of Monday Night Raw and will be able to be the ones to run the yard because no one else will be able to run the fucking show other than The Shield. Try to cut that promo if you can. But anyways, that's my prediction. The Shield to win the tag team gold up against Dolph Ziggler and Dean Ambrose. Dolph Ziggler and Drew McIntyre. Okay, so we're down to the final matchup for the Universal Championship. Roman Reigns going up against Braun Strowman inside Hell in a Cell with an addition. With the addition of the man who has been a part of Hell in a Cell for many years. Everybody remembers what happened in 1998, June of 1998 to be exact. The Undertaker against Mick Foley. Actually, Mankind, to be exact. Undertaker versus Mick Foley. These two had a tremendous matchup at Hell in a Cell. It was one of these matches that was just so outlandishly crazy. I remember seeing Mick Foley climb up the Hell in a Cell. The Undertaker tried to go after him. Both of them were fighting the living shit out of each other, and then it happened. You know what it is. You know how it goes. Mick Foley was at the top. The Undertaker grabbed a hold of Mick Foley, and then before you know it, he threw him right to the fucking ground, and then you could literally hear JR say in the background, "Good God Almighty, good God Almighty, he killed him." Oh my God. And Mick Foley laid out right there on the commentator's table, and everyone thought for sure that Mick Foley was dead. But no, he kept coming back for more. He kept coming after The Undertaker, and then before you know it, they were back on top of the Hell in a Cell. Oh yeah, back on top of the Hell in a Cell, and then all of a sudden, The Undertaker comes in with a choke slam, about to get Mankind, gets him right up in the air, gets him right on top of the cell, and then flung right there, right through the fucking ground, right to the fucking ring. And then I remember those words from JR when he said, "Will somebody stop the damn match? Enough's enough." And I agreed, but it still kept going on no matter what. 20 years ago was awesome. That was unquestionably one of the greatest Hell in a Cell matches in the history of WWE. And now Mick Foley is now going to be the guest referee for this matchup between the Monster and the Big Dog, Roman Reigns and Braun Strowman. Now, I made a prediction about a couple of weeks ago, or about a month ago to be exact, that if if Roman Reigns becomes the Universal Champion, it will be because the Shield was involved. That didn't happen. He actually beat Brock Lesnar in the middle of the ring. But I don't think he actually beat Brock Lesnar. I think what happened was, I think Roman Reigns had just pinned him. Brock Lesnar laid out 1, 2, 3. That was it. I mean, that's my opinion. That's my thought. That's how it goes, as far as I'm concerned. Now, the following Monday, Seth Rollins was already the Intercontinental Champion, and Dean Ambrose was back. Here comes Braun Strowman going after Roman Reigns after Roman Reigns was about to defeat Finn Balor. And then Braun Strowman was going to cash in his Money in the Bank contract against Roman Reigns. And then who comes down the aisle? Shield. You know? And they come down the aisle, and I'm like, oh, this is fucking awesome. The Shield comes down the aisle, they come in, they save Roman Reigns, they pick him up, drop him on the announcer's table, and then that's it for Braun Strowman. That's it for him. He's done, he's out the window, we don't have to deal with him anymore. Then comes the whole thing with, I guess they were a tag team, Roman Reigns and Braun Strowman, and then all of a sudden, Braun Strowman decides to recruit his own Dogs of War. That's where Drew McIntyre and Dolph Ziggler comes into play. They become a tag team. They become a three-man team and everything else like that. They try to attack the Shield. They had the Shield arrested. They had the entire main roster go after the Shield. And then the following night, on Monday Night Raw, I made this prediction straight up. The last time something like that happened to the Shield, when they got their ass kicked and everything, I said, quote unquote, if the Shield comes back, they're going to attack every single one of those people that attacked the Shield. And voila! I was right. That's exactly what happened. So the Shield go ahead and attack everybody other than Dolph Ziggler, Braun Strowman, and Drew McIntyre. Those are the three that they're going to go after. Which leads me to Roman Reigns and Braun Strowman. These two men have a long history together. They faced off in one-on-one matches. They faced off in last man standing matches. They faced off in many other matches that I could possibly think of. Now, for the first time, these two are going to go at each other, not just for the Universal Championship. They also are going to climb inside Hell in a Cell with Mick Foley as a special referee. So, my prediction for that matchup is this. My prediction goes Roman Reigns to win the Universal Championship against Braun Strowman. Mick Foley picks his hand up, it's over, and Braun Strowman moves on to the next challenge. Those two men, as we speak, are probably here in Corpus Christi somewhere. No doubt Roman Reigns is probably out there somewhere in Corpus Christi. No doubt Braun Strowman is probably flipping 18-wheeler somewhere over in Corpus Christi, Texas, the monster among men. And it's going to be tremendous. So check out WWE Hell in a Cell as it happens, live on the WWE Network or on pay-per-view, whichever comes first. So, with that being said, like I said, WWE Live is going to be having Raw, all the Raw superstars, are going to be there. So that's going to be something to check out. So, right now, guys, I'm going to go ahead and it's almost about that time for me to go ahead and get out of here. So, guys, I'm going to end this with this. Obviously, I'm going to, if I get an opportunity to check out WWE Raw, if it happens, not WWE Raw, the actual Raw show, but if I see the live event that happens at the American Bank Center, I will give you pics, I will give you some videos, and I'll see how all this goes, and it should be tremendous. And also, besides that, I'll have an opportunity to go ahead and go to Theo's tonight, because that's where the main event's going to be. Because tonight at Theo's Billiards, as I mentioned before, Triple G against Canelo, that's going to be the rematch. I cannot wait to check it out. It's going to be tremendous. Love it. Gonna see it. I will be at Theo's tonight to check out Canelo versus Triple G. It's going to be one hell of a fight. Cannot wait. So, with that being said, the main event is out of here. Thank you for watching this this live episode, this live edition, the Saturday Talk on the Main Event Talk right here on YouTube. I am out of here, and let me see if I could have swore I had a drink in my hand, didn't I? Didn't I have a drink? Oh, here it is. I got a drink in my hand, so I'm going to go ahead and get the hell out of here. Don't forget to subscribe to the Main Event Talk right here on YouTube. And also, if you guys get an opportunity, go to my Main Event Talk on Facebook. Go to my Facebook page at Main Event at Facebook Talk or Facebook. Facebook.com/Real Main Event Talk, and check out all the pics and everything, all the information, everything from WWE to WCW, wrestling, and all that other stuff. I'll put it out for everyone to check out. And there'll probably be, I have not put together a live episode for them yet, but that may happen sometime in the near future if I have the opportunity. And also, what else do I need to promote before? Oh, and follow me on Twitter as well. Follow me on Twitter.com. Twitter.com/@MainEventPlayer. You can also follow me on Instagram as well. Instagram.com/@MainEventPlayer. That's all, by the way. I got a lot of followers on Instagram, and most of them, or 20 of them, if you will. I had 20 followers this week, and probably 10 of them are fakes. Long story, don't want to get into detail about that. Let's just say I'm glad you're following, but you're not really following. So, thank you for watching. The main event is going to be doing some cooking, and I've got to do this because I can, because I'm hungry, and I'm starving the living fuck right now. So, let's get started. Thank you for watching. I'm out of here. I had it here a moment ago. You know what? Never mind. I'll just put the line out right here, right now. Why? Because I can and I want to. Any questions? Enough said. We're done. It's over. Let's move on with our lives. You know, I can't seem to stop this, can I?